Have you ever stood at the base of a skyscraper and felt small? Imagine if that feeling was daily life for our ancestors. Walking among beings so tall, our tallest athletes would seem tiny. Giants. We've all heard the stories, seen the movies. But are they just stories? What if our planet was once home to a race of giants, a history lost, maybe even hidden? The idea sounds wild, but these tales aren't isolated. Every culture, from the Americas to Greece, from the north to the jungles of South America, has legends of giants. That's not coincidence, it's a global pattern. Why would so many ancient peoples invent the same story? We're always rewriting history. New discoveries constantly challenge what we think we know. Once, we thought Troy was a myth, until we found it. Is it so crazy to think giants could be more than legend? The evidence isn't always obvious. It's hidden in myths, encoded in ancient architecture, buried in old reports. So, let's dig deeper. Let's look at the stories, the stones, and the strange clues that hint at a world very different from ours. We're not after definitive proof, yet. We're after the breadcrumbs, the clues that could reveal the tallest tale ever told, or maybe the truest story we've never heard. Were giants real? Let's find out. This journey isn't about certainty, it's about curiosity. Let's peel back the layers of myth and see what we discover. Because sometimes, the biggest secrets are hiding in plain sight. And the only way to find them is to start asking the right questions. If you want to find hidden truth, start with a story everyone shares. Giants appear in the oldest texts, the Bible's Nephilim, the Norse Jotnar, the Greek Titans, and Cyclopes. These weren't just monsters, they were builders, rulers, forces of nature. Native American tribes tell of red-haired giants, like the Siteka, described in detail. Appearance, weapons, even battle sites. Incan legends speak of giants from the sea, building stone structures before being destroyed by fire from the sky. Sumerian texts mention the towering Anunnaki. Irish myth has the monstrous Fomorians. These cultures were separated by oceans and centuries, yet all tell of giants shaping the world. How did so many isolated peoples invent the same story? Are these just myths, or fragmented memories of a shared reality? The pattern is too consistent to ignore. When legends echo across continents, maybe they're not just fantasy. Maybe they're history, waiting to be rediscovered. Stories are one thing, but what about the stones? All over the world, ancient ruins defy explanation. Megalithic sites built with stones so massive, even modern cranes would struggle. Puma Punku's H-blocks in Bolivia, cut with precision, weighing tons. Local legend? Built by giants in a single night. Baalbek in Lebanon. The trilithon stones, each over 800 tons, moved and set with impossible accuracy. Mainstream theories exist, but none fully explain the scale. In Egypt, Sardinia, Peru, doorways and corridors far taller than the people who built them. Why build 12-foot entrances for 5-foot people, unless they weren't the intended occupants? These architectural puzzles challenge our assumptions. Maybe lost technology explains it. Or maybe the builders were simply bigger. The ambition is staggering, almost as if they wanted to leave a message. We were here, and we were not small. These sites are more than ruins, they're clues. Clues that our history might be much larger than we think. The stones don't lie, they just wait for us to ask the right questions. And maybe, to see the world through giant eyes. Here's where the story gets strange. Bones. In the 1800s and early 1900s, newspapers across America reported giant skeletons, 7 to 12 feet tall, sometimes with double rows of teeth. These weren't just rumors, they were detailed reports, naming discoverers and locations. For a while, it seemed America was a giant's graveyard. But then, the bones vanished, sent to museums or universities, often the Smithsonian, and never seen again. Modern researchers find no record of them. The evidence is gone. Were these all hoaxes? Hundreds of separate accounts make that unlikely. Misidentified animal bones? Some reports describe unmistakably human skeletons. Or was the evidence suppressed because it didn't fit the accepted story? The pattern repeats. Discovery, excitement, disappearance. The missing bones are the most maddening part of the giant mystery. If they were real, why hide them? If they weren't, why so many reports? The truth is buried, literally and figuratively. Until we find the bones, the case remains open. But the questions refuse to go away. Nearly every ancient culture tells of a great flood, a cataclysm that wiped the world clean. In many myths, the flood comes to destroy a race of giants who corrupted the earth. The Bible's flood follows the Nephilim. Sumerian, Babylonian, Hindu, and Greek stories echo the same theme. Was the flood a divine reset, erasing giants from history? Maybe these myths are memories of a real catastrophe, one that ended an age of giants and left only ruins and stories behind. The flood connects two mysteries, the lost giants, and the world-changing disaster that may have swept them away. Look at a map of ancient sites. Pyramids everywhere, from Egypt to China to the Americas. Cultures that never met built the same massive sky-pointing structures, often aligned with stars. Is it just coincidence, or a shared legacy? Some say giants built the pyramids, or at least taught humans how. The Great Pyramid's scale and precision still baffle us. Maybe these monuments are echoes of a forgotten age, signposts left by a race with a grander vision. The similarities suggest a common source, not just parallel invention. The pyramids aren't just tombs, they're clues. Clues that giants or their knowledge once shaped the world. Sometimes the wildest ideas are the ones that fit the evidence best. If giants were real, where's the proof? Why isn't it in museums? Some believe the evidence was deliberately hidden, bones sent to the Smithsonian, then vanished. Why cover it up? To protect established history, or avoid rewriting everything we know? Science resists change. Paradigm-shifting discoveries are often ignored or dismissed. The existence of giants would upend our story of human origins. For some, it's easier to hide the evidence than face the questions. Maybe the truth is just too big to fit in the official narrative. Maybe there's no grand conspiracy, just time and human nature. Many giant skeletons were found by amateurs, not preserved, and crumbled to dust. Exaggeration and sensationalism made the stories grow taller with each retelling. Much of history is lost to war, fire, and neglect. The evidence for giants may have simply faded away. What remains are fragments, myths, ruins, old reports. The footprints are faint, but not erased. Our search continues, piecing together a puzzle with missing pieces. So where does that leave us? We've explored myths, ruins, and lost bones. There's no smoking gun, but the circumstantial evidence is hard to ignore. Myths are consistent, architecture is mind-bending, and reports of giant skeletons are persistent. Dismiss each clue alone, but together, they form a compelling picture. Maybe our past is stranger and more mysterious than we're taught. The story of giants reminds us to stay curious and keep digging. There are chapters of history still unwritten, secrets buried beneath our feet. One day, a new discovery may change everything. Until then, the quest continues. Next time you see a mountain shaped like a sleeping giant, pause and wonder. The greatest discoveries are found at the edge of what we think is possible. The truth is still out there. And maybe, just maybe, the tallest tale ever told is waiting to be proven real. If you want to dive even deeper, grab your copy of our book. There's a link in the description below. And don't forget to subscribe to Behind the Taste for more fascinating journeys into the unknown.